Everybody, I'm Annette H and welcome to my channel. Today we are trying out a new rocket stove that my husband Glen gave me for Christmas. So with this rocket stove, we're just using it to make a very basic chili today. That's a damper. Now the idea behind the rocket stove is that it's just very compact, uses very little energy. Those are my ingredients for the chili. I am using some canned products today, canned tomatoes and beans, mushrooms and onions, and beef burger. To light this thing, as you can tell, we had a little bit of trouble. This is just the maiden voyage for this rocket stove. And you feed the wood down into that neck that you see me putting the wood into. And there isn't really a very good place to light your igniter, like paper or something, down in the bottom. So it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get used to doing this. And if you have a suggestion on how to light this better, please leave it in the comments. What I ended up doing was lighting a piece of crumpled paper and pushing it down into the neck where the wood is, because it was next to impossible to light it down from the bottom. As we got cooking with it, we realized a few things. If you close the lid on the neck where the wood goes into, then the airflow comes from the bottom and gets the wood going better, and the heat coming up out of the chimney like that. We have this old cast iron pot, that Dutch oven that's been around for quite some time, long time. And I just put it on there long enough to get it nice and hot before I added the beef burger. While I'm fussing with the cooking, my husband Glen is fussing with the wood. Great teamwork. That sizzle is what it is all about, folks. That sizzle is just something else. Not only are you cooking with fire, but when you cook with the cast iron, the pot heats up and it holds its temperature really well. My husband is telling me not to burn my fingers, but if I do happen to burn my fingers, that we just happen to have a lot of aloe in the house. He actually has this beautiful aloe that he's growing. So I was vigilant watching this cook because I didn't want to happen to burn the burger in the bottom. And we figured with the way we had the damper set that the temperature was probably about somewhere between a low and a medium. I know it sounds fierce, but it was actually cooking pretty gently, but also very quickly. It took more time to get the fire going than it did to cook the meat and the onions and the mushrooms. So I did add the onions and the mushrooms as soon as the ground beef was approximately halfway cooked. I gave everybody a good stir. You'll notice my left hand that I'm wearing a leather glove. And that's just if I need to hold that pot, because the way cast iron works is the entire pot, including the handle, would be just smoking hot. I am so impressed with how this is working. My husband put the rocket stove on a piece of wood because we figured that, you see the way it's melting the snow into ice around the base, that the rocket stove would probably melt right into the snow and potentially just put it right out, tip it over or something. So when the onions and the mushrooms were cooked all through, I added the black beans, and the canned tomatoes with all of their juice. One thing cooking over fire that can cause you a problem is your moisture could evaporate out of your pot or your pan very quickly. And so I did take care to pay attention to make sure that the moisture was still available in the pot. I didn't want to burn my chili, and I didn't want to burn stuff inside the pot. I gave everybody a good stir to get it all combined, to make sure that chili seasoning touched all the surfaces. And I grabbed a lid and just stuck it on there. We supervised it for roughly about 5 minutes. So cool. That's the neck where the wood goes. Truth be told, guys, there was only 2 sticks of wood that needed to be used to cook this chili. It's extremely efficient cooking on this rocket stove. Thanks for watching. Take care.